everyone, this is Claire and welcome to Crochet Crafts. In today's tutorial, we'll learn how to crochet this bag using the waistcoat twist technique. We'll start by creating the base, then work the body using the waistcoat stitch, increasing and skipping stitches to create a twisted effect. This pattern is worked in continuous rounds, so there won't be any visible seams in your project. Next, we'll change color and finish with an edging. Then we'll add a magnetic bottom closure and a round button embellishment. And finally, we'll create a remaining cord strap. For the materials you will need, a 2mm macrame cotton cord in 3-ply, approximately 250 grams in ecru and light pink shade, or in a non-splitting type of yarn for easier pattern work. 5mm ETIMO black tulip hook, 6mm hook for the foundation chain, 2 spring rings 19mm, magnetic buttons 18mm, 1 round button for the embellishment, sewing thread and needle, scissors, darning needle, and stitch markers. And these are the abbreviations I use for this pattern written in US terminology. Now grab your yarn and hook and let's get started. We'll use a 6mm hook for the foundation chain only to create looser stitches, as we'll be working into the back bump of the chain for round 1. First, make a slip knot, then chain 23. After you finish 23 chains, stitch the hook size to 5mm. Now we're going to work in the back bump of the chain.
What the dog doing?
For row 1, skip 1 stitch, then work 22 single crochet across.
What the dog doing?
At the end of row 1, place the stitch marker in the first and last bottom stitches. For rows 2 to 8, turn your project, then work 22 single crochet across.
What the dog doing?
Repeat this step and complete a total of 8 rows. You can pause the video and resume when you're ready.
What the dog doing?
After completing the 8 rows for the base, we can now proceed with the body of the bag. For round 1 of the body, We'll decrease 1 stitch to make the total stitches an odd number. Now to start round 1, turn your project and make a single crochet decrease.
What the dog doing?
Place the stitch marker in the first stitch of the round. Next, work 20 single crochet across. Place the stitch marker in the last stitch of the long side.
What the dog doing?
You should have a total of 21 single crochet from the first to the last stitch marker. This time, we're going to work on the side spaces of the base. Now turn clockwise and work 7 single crochet on the short side of the base.
What the dog doing? What the dog doing?
Turn clockwise again and work 22 single crochet on the long side of the base.
What the dog doing?
You can also hide the yarn tail under the stitches. Again, don't forget to place the stitch marker in the first and last stitches of the long side.
What the dog doing?
Next, turn clockwise again and work 7 single crochet across the short side of the base.
What the dog doing?
At the end of round 1, you should have a total of 57 stitches. Now instead of using a slip stitch to join the rounds, we're going to work in continuous rounds. For round 2, make a single crochet increase and loosen your stitches. This will make it easier to insert the hook for the waistcoat stitch in the next round. Again, place the stitch marker in the very first stitch. Now skip one stitch and work another single crochet increase in the next.
What the dog doing?
Continue this pattern all the way around. You can now remove the stitch markers from the previous round, except for the first stitch. Now that we've reached the end of round 2, we'll begin the waistcoat stitch increase. So again, we won't slip stitch. Instead, we'll work in continuous rounds. But before that, move the stitch marker below the V shape of the first stitch for better visibility.
What the dog doing?
To make the waistcoat stitch increase, insert the hook in the middle of the V. Now to begin round 3, skip the first stitch and make waistcoat stitch increase in the next.
What the dog doing?
Keep your stitches loose to make it easier to insert the hook. Now repeat this pattern all the way around.
What the dog doing?
At the end of round 3, again, work in continuous rounds. To count the number of rounds, always start with the stitch marker and count diagonally. So right now, we have completed 3 rounds. You can pause the video to complete the 9 rounds and resume when you're ready. After completing 19 rounds of the waistcoat stitch increase, your project should look like this. Now we're going to tighten the stitches starting from this point to keep the edges straight. I'm just going to remove these last stitches to show you how it's done. Next, cut the yarn, skip one stitch, and make an invisible join.
What the dog doing?
Your project may look a bit misshapen at first, but you can gently stretch it to your shape.
What the dog doing?
Next, weave in the ends on the inside afterward. Now we're ready to change color and proceed with the edging. For round 1, begin the first stitch on the sides of the bag, then work in a back loop only.
What the dog doing?
Insert hook, pull up a loop, then chain 1. Now work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Continue working single crochet around.
What the dog doing?
At the end of round 1, slip stitch to join the rounds. For round 2, chain 1, then work 1 single crochet in the same stitch.
What the dog doing?
Now continue working single crochet around. At the end of round 2, skip these 2 stitches, then slip stitch to join in the first stitch. For rounds 3 to 4, repeat the step all the way around and complete a total of 4 rounds of single crochet. At the end of round 4, work slip stitches all the way around. Place the stitch marker in the first slip stitch and continue slip stitching all the way around.
What the dog doing?
At the end of the round, cut the yarn and make an invisible join. Weave in the ends on the inside afterward.
Dog doing?
Now that we've finished the edging, we're now going to sew the magnetic buttons and the round button embellishment. First, place the stitch marker in the middle of the bag. Next, sew the magnetic button on the inside. Ensure it is aligned with the stitch marker. Repeat this step on the other side. Now sew the button at the top center of the bag, aligned with its stitch marker.
What the dog doing?
After we finish sewing the button, we're ready to start making the strap. We're going to use the egg crochet to make the remaining cord strap. First, make a slip knot, then chain 2. Next, skip 1 stitch, then work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Now insert a hook into this loop, turn and make 1 single crochet.
What the dog doing?
Next, insert a hook into both loops, turn and make 1 single crochet. Repeat this pattern until you reach your desired strap length.
What the dog doing?
When you reach the desired length, slip stitch in the last stitch. Next, cut the yarn, then weave in the tails.
What the dog doing?
After finishing the strap, insert the needle into the strap ends to create a hole for the ring. Then attach a ring to the strap like this. Next, attach the ring to the back like this.
What the dog doing?
That's all for today's tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching!